Pretzel, pretzel. Hi, this is Linkara.
And this is Brad.
We did two takes of this pretzel scene, the epic pretzel song, and each time you kept going so damn fast, it was hard to keep up.
I was just so excited.
You had a pretzel and you loved it.
Right? Exactly. Um, I always like the shots of getting in character of the snob, which is always nothing more than me just putting glasses on.
Hmm. Though, if I recall correctly, you tried to put your hair into the snob style, and it resulted in not working as well because your hair had just been recently cut.
Oh yeah. You'll see it. You'll see it here in a sec. It looks like I tried to spike it, but my hair is too thin for that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I cut my hair shortly before we all met up for the anniversary, and I cut it a little shorter than I had intended to. So I don't have super thick hair. So when it's that short, it's a little hard to slick back.
We missed a whole bunch of stuff there. Okay, I'll just fire it through. The meta joke there was written before I knew about all the other meta jokes and everything. I did it mostly because every crossover review tends to start with people like, I don't want to review this, but we'll do it anyway.
Yeah. No, I like.
And your intro sequence, trying to recreate that, I kept trying to get the cues right on the text, but I don't think I got it quite right.
No, that was that was the text that the font, that was the font style that I used to use until my editor discontinued that particular font. Now it's something else, but the one that you used I was using that kind of font for a while, so it looked really authentic to it. And a Real Virtue, I think, is what it was called on my editing software.
I kept trying to find it too because people keep telling me it was Real Virtue, but I could not find it. I had Spoonie finally gave it to me because he had done the Spoonie Snob video.
Yeah.
And the title card was my title card artist's callback to the Bimbos in Time review, which also had the stick figure drawings,
Yes.
which was still better artwork than Bimbos in Time.
Well, it was interesting doing this because Todd Sheets, who made this movie, is a friend of mine. And he runs the radio station that myself and Josh Hadley do Radiodrome, and we've had him on the show before. He's a super nice guy. So when
And
I
it kind of makes me feel bad. It kind of makes me feel. I tried to leave out. Since you told me about that, so I tried to leave out references directly to him. But I do feel sad though that we didn't comment that this was one of his first films. He was young when he did it, and
how old did he even say? I think he said he was a teenager when he made this movie.
I think he said 16.
Yeah, which, I mean, this is it's better than the stuff I was shooting at 16.
I agree there.
Oh man, I mean, it really is. But I ran it by him. I was like, so Linkara and I are planning a crossover on Bimbos BC, and he said his reaction was, "Good Lord, why would you want to watch that?" No, he was like, I mean, he gets the gist of the shows, that we're just kind of having a riff.
Mm.
And so yeah, that's no problem. He goes, as long as there's no personal attacks or anything like that in it, which we wouldn't do anyway.
Yeah, I try to take away the personal element unless there's like a recurring motif, and even then, it tends to go for the truly heinous people. I mean, Rob Liefeld, like in my reviews, tends to get a lot of flack, but I keep hearing from like back and forth whether or not he's a nice guy or not. I give him crap when really I probably shouldn't give as much crap to him, even though his artwork is bad. But no, I would never personally like go after someone like Taji, who made this film when he was 16. I mean, the
Yeah.
fact that it got distributed at all is pretty impressive of an achievement already.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, what was it? Did you? How different did you find it in writing a video on a movie instead of a comic?
The most annoying part of it, and what made me really stop and think, how does Brad do this every week, is that there was always something to comment on. I was like, I was afraid. I was like 20 minutes in, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm already 5 pages into this review.
Yeah, yeah,
I need to stop talking about everything I find annoying.
yeah. You kind of gotta pick and choose a little bit here and there. Sometimes it's. There's only been a handful of times where it's been a situation where I get where the movie is giving me too much to work with, you know. And usually in a case like that, it's always a movie for me anyway. It's always a movie like Zombie 7, like Zombie 90, Zombie 90. That movie that had the comedic dubbing with the one guy who sounds like a black guy and the other guy sounds like really nasally and nerdy. They're doing a comedic dub on it. And so because of that, like every other line in the movie was fairly funny and silly. So it was like this movie's honestly giving me too much material to work with here.
Hmm.
Um,
That Insano cameo from earlier, that we filmed that separately with Spoonie in another room because he wasn't available at the time we were filming the review itself.
I forget. Was I sick when we did this?
It was right before you got sick.
Okay. I know I was sick in me and Phelan's crossover, which hasn't been posted yet, but will be soon.
I know, I'm looking forward to that.
that turned out pretty funny. Yeah, I got really sick. Like I was bedridden for like most of the afternoon and the evening, and I felt so bad. I even had to miss the after part, the rap party for Suburban Nights. Um, and come like midnight or so, I started feeling better in the sense that I was still sick, but at least I could stand.
Mhm.
And I think that yeah, that's pretty much how I am in the video that Phelan and I did. I'm really sick in it. Oh, here we go.
Oh yes, the crossover everyone demanded.
Exactly.
Well, this thought occurred to me like one night as I was about to go to sleep, and I was thinking of, okay, what can I do for the Bimbos BC review? And it just suddenly occurred to me, wait a second, Brad and I have really parallel characters.
Yeah.
90s kid, 80s Dan. Harvey Fine voice, Vic the big box voice.
Hmm.
Ninja style dancer, Kung Tai Ted.
It really worked out. It was a great ongoing gag. I mean,
The
especially
problem was thinking up ideas for how to incorporate them. 90s Kid was fairly easy to get in.
yeah.
As was the Kung Tai Ted appearance. I had no. I stuck Harvey at the end because I couldn't think of anywhere else to put him.
And 80s Dan and 90s kid just walk away the best of friends.
Well,
Although,
they kind of already knew each other because 90s Kid had supplied 80s Dan with
with
what was it, New Coke or
it was Coke 2, I think.
that was it, yeah.
Yeah. So the two of them had already they met previously off camera.
Of course. Some guy from the 90s gave it to me.
A sweet, delicious Coke 2. How how long was this movie, Bimbos BC?
I think we say it at the end. I think it's an hour and 8 minutes total.
That's not too.
It felt longer.
Yeah. I always.
I was just really shocked at this part right here. Just like loud banging noise. I was like, what the hell is that?
I always get. I'm always pretty happy whenever I put one in and it's only like barely over an hour long, or like
Mm.
an hour and 10, hour and 20. Like if it gets over 90 minutes is usually when I'm like, this might be a long one, or this might be a long sit. Um, so I tend to get excited when the movies are fairly short.
It's easy to look back in hindsight, with our modern editing technology available to us,
Yeah.
that it probably wasn't very easy to incorporate music into movies if you didn't have the proper tech to do it.
Yeah, I've done video editing before, but not to where I had to put any music in it post. I'm talking like 10 or so or over years ago in shooting on VHS. I still have a big VHS camera, and I've always thought about shooting a movie on it and actually calling it shot on Shitio. Making it like an anthology movie, like 3 short stories, putting them together, and sort of like Grindhouse, like Grindhouse did. Maybe put commercials between the shorts. It was always
I hear you.
an idea I had in the back of my head. Maybe I'll do that someday.
Ah, in the elementary school library.
Yes.
Oh, in this bit, the only joke that you technically wrote for the review.
The what movie did I reference? I Spit on Your Grave.
I Spit on Your Grave, because I have never seen I Spit on Your Grave, but I knew you had.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen I Spit on Your Grave. The DVD for it's fun too. It's got Joe Bob Briggs commentary.
Ooh.
What came first, this movie or the comic book?
That is where it gets a little iffy. Like, the thing is, like I say in both the Bimbos in Time review and near the end of this, I can't tell which of these is an alternate title or if they're actual separate movies.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of IMDb info for Bimbos BC, but barely anything on Bimbos in Time and Prehistoric Bimbos from in Armageddon City.
Yeah.
And they all have different release dates. And I don't remember if Bimbos in Time actually had any copyright info on it in terms of the year it came out.
Yeah. I'll have to. I can ask Todd next time he's on the show. Well, it looks like they had fun making it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I get the impression it's supposed to come off kind of spoofy and comedy-wise, but there's not enough comedy to really consider it a comedy, and of course everything else kind of fails in those departments. What I did like though, because I did listen to the Radiodrome interview with Todd Sheets,
Mm-hmm.
I like how he described that they deliberately tried to make Bimbos in Time the worst comic ever. I'll say this, he kind of succeeded. I still wouldn't call it the worst, but considering I do still have some other ones that I consider to be even worse than that,
Yeah.
but it's up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Shitio movies like this kind of grew on me after a while. I mean, I remember being really young, and I go into the video store and renting truckloads of horror films all the time. And every now and then, there would be one where I would pop it in, and it would be something like this, something shot on videotape, and immediately I would just be like, no, shut it off,
There is a charm to these, I will admit, even though this was my first time ever trying to watch one of these things all the way through.
Yeah.
There is something to it that just that does make it like indie. What's the phrase? Gritty, realistic. Really tried their best kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Even though there's no real quality, you get a real sense that they did give an effort.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like I said, there's plenty of ones that are completely unwatchable, but there's somewhere there that have their charm. Wood Chipper Massacre in particular is pretty funny. Is a pretty funny movie. and maybe I grew, maybe I started appreciating them a lot more when I um started making my own movies with my high 8 camera.
What I kind of got worried about was that I realized. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I am a man joke. I haven't done that in a while.
No one feels sorry for me anymore after I accidentally punched Obscura's Lupa.
That's another unintentional theme: the punching everybody.
Yeah, I get punched in the face at the beginning of it, then punched right there, and poor Lupa accidentally clocking her in the nose.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
The one thing I was upset about this it was that in retrospect I was worried like, crap, do we do the same? Did we fail on the same counts on Suburban Nights? Is the fight choreography this bad? Do we worry about the lack of a boom mic? But having seen the rough cut, I think it's handled a hell of a lot better in ours.
Well, like I said, when you do something that's micro budgeted, when you do something like a Bimbos BC, stuff that's not, say, professionally choreographed, you at least want it to be entertaining. And that's what you gotta hope for. It's okay if it doesn't look like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's okay.
We only hope it does.
What?
We only hope it does.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay if it's not as well choreographed as like The Warriors. They're micro budgeted movies. You want them to be entertaining.
I really had Star Trek on the mind while I was editing this.
I get like that sometimes too, where I'll have like 2 references to the same thing.
I had like 4 or 5 Star Trek references peppered throughout this. We had the Star Trek fight music.
Yeah.
The bit with Trelane and Spock right there with the women.
Yeah.
Those were added in during editing when I reviewed the movie while I was editing it and realized that Thatch just yells out women. Oh, in this scene, they just decide to take a rest in the middle of a field where there's a cross, which is the nightmare zone, apparently.
It's the nightmare zone.
Just knock it over for no reason, and boom! Suddenly all hell breaks loose.
Man, I wonder how long it took them to shoot this.
Just keep killing the same zombie.
Yeah. Like, I always try to compare it to, like, if I had tried shooting the same type of thing, like, 10 or more years ago, and it'd be like, I'd probably say, like, oh, man, this had to have taken them, like, 6 months or a year. When watch, I'll talk to Todd, and he'll be like, no, it took, like, 2 days.
It's getting dark. We have to turn back. It's in the middle of the afternoon. Where is Thatch going? What is he doing? He comes out to the middle of a road, pulls out a gun, and bam, cut to the city.
Now they're in the city? Well, that was fucking quick.
Well, they got some decent city shots in the flick.
From what I understand, someone I can't remember what city they used, but someone who was from this city actually did comment on it and say, "Oh yeah, I fully recognize the place where they are. They're not in New York."
Is that supposed to be New York?
It's supposed to be New York because they're in Armageddon City, and Armageddon City used to be New York.
Oh, I see. Got those guys standing there. Former host.
Why is Thatch the leader? You'd think that in a post-apocalyptic environment, a fat guy like him would not be the guy who's considered to be the one most effectively in charge.
Well, they all look like they should be hosts of Headbangers Ball. Especially the guy in the leather jacket.
The guy in leather jacket looks like a more convincing leader, though, because he looks like he's strong and tough, and in an environment like this, it seems very much like a survival of the fittest, strongest wins type of dude.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Mr. T shows up
with a golf club.
just out of nowhere. This character never showing up anywhere else. He just,
And then they just splice
bam,
it
he's
with a
there.
shot of her
Oh, we're in the
murder.
woods again.
And it has to be that because the background is wrong.
And I
She
paused
has
it
a
on this
weapon
bit just
back.
so I could show, like, she has her weapon again, even though just a second ago Thatch took the weapons away.
So did you find this on DVD or VHS?
After I did the Bimbos in Time review, a fan sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember who it was that sent it, but needless to say, they recognized the name Todd Sheets when I brought it up, and they recognized the Bimbos movies because I also brought them up.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, this one chain across his neck will certainly hold him back.
Yeah, I get request. I used to get a lot of requests to do one of Todd Sheets' movies. So hopefully this satisfied those who wanted to see a Todd Sheets movie spotlighted here. It seemed to go over well.
Oh yeah, people seem to really like it. Though my fans were just shocked at the low quality of it. I don't think many of them have seen your review.
Yeah, I'll see. I don't think any of my fans would be shocked at how the movie was shot.
I was like, have you seen what the cinema does? This is actually better than some of the things he's seen.
Oh yeah, I mean, compare this to like Las Vegas Bloodbath. This movie's Citizen Kane. I mean, at least there's stuff happening here in this.
Oh yeah, and then the movie takes a right turn into really, really dark. And suddenly Thatch is a cannibal, and he killed their friend. I'm like, oh dear God! Why?
It's like, oh man, I wish I had this effects budget when I was 16. I barely even have this kind of effects budget now.
I don't think anybody got the Galactic Conquest reference, but that's because I seem to be the only person in the universe who still plays Galactic Conquest on the Commodore 64.
Nice. It all ends happy.
I was wondering if we should do this angry, and your voice was going out, so we couldn't.
Oh, my voice. Yeah, that happens to me sometimes. My voice will start to go out once I get done. Once I get done doing a video. Although in this particular case, I think my voice was really starting to go out because I think I had done a couple of videos the day we shot this.
Yeah.
I think like
if there's one joke that I don't think works as well as I had hoped, it was the Lord of the Rings music thing. I wanted it to be very clear that I was slowing the music down. I don't think it quite got across.
Oh, I noticed that. Best comic ever.
Some people have pointed out that there is indeed a Bimbos in Time movie, and in fact, all the other two alternate titles are also different movies too.
Yeah.
So maybe someday we'll actually see those.
Yeah, that happens to me sometime with Bruno movies, especially the Mondo movies he did. So yeah, I've been getting a lot of comments asking to bring Space Lancer Steve.
Yes.
Bring Space Lancer.
Best breakout character ever.
Well, I know what I'm gonna do with that. And it'll be something that it'll be the type of thing that no one will be expecting me to do with it, but it'll be something new.
What I love, we did like 20 takes of this because I kept cracking up at how stupid the costume was.
Oh, do you still have the outtakes?
It's deliberate. It was supposed to look that dumb.
Oh
but
yeah.
Still.
If you still have the outtakes, yeah, that'd be funny to see.
Oh yeah, I should totally just release uncut Space Lancer Steve takes.
Yeah.
Space Lancer Steve? What are you looking at me for? It was your fucking idea.
It was your idea.
The end.